Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I have more of an unserious video. I want to share my thoughts on LeBron, his last season, his entire career, and what I think is going to be happening here in the next few years for him. So I'm going to be sharing some videos from previous games, some statistics from the ESPN itself and other places online, and also some terrible takes that I've been able to find on YouTube and Twitter about LeBron and about potentially what's going to happen next for him in his career. So right now I'm on basketballreference.com and I just want to talk first about LeBron and his teammates, because it's really no secret that LeBron performs better when the people around him are performing better. And I want to do a small dive into the roster for next season, or at least what pieces we have right now going into 2024. So the first thing that we see, some familiar faces: Anthony Davis, Vanderbilt, Hachimura, Reeves. Those are some major pieces that the Lakers have been able to keep, along with D'Angelo Russell. But I do want to talk about what they've been able to add. As far as Gabe Vincent, the Lakers are a heavy inside team. They make a lot of their points in the paint, as well as a lot of their assists, rebounds, etc. all come within 6 to 10 feet of the rim. So unfortunately, a player like Gabe Vincent can help with our three-point shooting, but he's more so just replacing players that left last season. Super important to see the team as a whole stay healthy, and also which players are able to mesh together. Do the Lakers pick up more pieces in the middle of the season? We have that in-season tournament now, so there could be a motivation to potentially make some massive trades come the middle of the season instead of waiting more towards the end, towards playoff time, which is what we've seen the Lakers do in the past in order to help LeBron in the off season. Now, before we move on to the next segment, I want to show you guys one of the biggest instances of glazing I've ever seen in the sports media world. And this guy Mbappe just got paid $1.1 billion. There's no comparison between him and somebody who's potentially at the end of their career, but Stephen A does it anyway. Check this out.
Who's the most valuable player?
In my opinion, it's LeBron James. And the number one face in the NBA is LeBron James. It's not just because of his greatness as one of the greatest players who have ever played the game, but he's a conscientious observer. Some would say even an activist to some degree because of his willingness to speak out on a plethora of issues. He's an astute, big-time businessman, an athlete who has made that transition.
So in the eyes of Stephen A, I guess LeBron literally can't make himself any better. He's a businessman, he's the greatest of all time, and he knows how to be an activist on a plethora of issues. So that's something kind of funny that I thought, taking things to the extreme, comparing him to Mbappe and other players that are potentially making $400 or $500 million over the course of their contract because they're fresh out of college, is kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, let's get back into this footage in this film and let's analyze what's been going on with LeBron over the last few seasons. Now, this first play is from the Western Conference Finals when the Lakers were facing the Denver Nuggets in Game 2. Now, as you can see, the Lakers are down 5 points to the Denver Nuggets, and with 12 seconds left on the clock, this is a very tough spot to be in, but not an impossible position for players like Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, or LeBron James himself. Any one of these players can score the ball and potentially change the course of the game in the next few seconds, but instead of passing the ball, moving it around, or looking at what the other options are, LeBron does one of these plays that we've seen a lot of times in this last season, and honestly probably a record number of times from LeBron in any season, where he simply dribbles up the court and then throws away the ball seemingly for no reason, then doesn't get back on defense. Super frustrating.
Here comes James. 10 seconds remaining. James stripped and stolen by Brown. Brown in the front court, and that'll do it.
Now, since LeBron is the leader of the team, his body language is extremely important in communicating to the other players that he's still in this thing, we're still in this thing, and it's still possible to win in the long term. And this is something that I've seen suffering very greatly from him over the last few seasons. Just check out what happens when he heads back to the tunnel after making that ridiculously bad play. Now, this next play might go down in the history books as LeBron's funniest reaction to a foul, but I honestly believe that 2 or 3 years ago, the refs would have 100% called this and allowed LeBron to shoot the winning free throws to take the game. So what's changed between then and now? Well, now LeBron moves slower to the rim, is less convincing when he flops, and unfortunately the refs are now aware of his strategy, especially in the fourth quarter, down to the last 4 seconds of a game.
Well, they're going to pin down for James. James comes up top, gets it. James on the drive, gets in the paint, layup, missed it. Game is over. Lakers furious, they thought he was fouled.
I mean, again, just look at this body language. What does this tell his team and his franchise about what he feels and what he thinks is possible in the near future, you know? Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to subscribe and go Lakers.